You're going to need to be able to partner to be able to buy real estate. There's no more one salary going out to buy a house. It ain't happening. Like, stop. And I don't want you to sit there trying to save and save and say, well, when I get enough money, I'm going to do this. No, you have to learn to do something else. So now what I'm doing is teaching people inside my community other facets of building wealth. For me, real estate, if you want to make money in that, you got to get into 4 units or greater. Stay away from single families. I would not buy a duplex unless that 1 unit is covering the mortgage and the other unit will be paying rent. But who's the renter? I need you to stay away from these type of renters for the future. I have 43 properties. I'm down to my last 4, selling them all. The reason why, because when you have tenants whose jobs revolve around what AI is taking over, you have the Uber drivers, you have the clerks, you have the cashiers, you have the people who work in Amazon, who's working factory, who's working a warehouse. Like, those jobs are going to be gone. If this is your mostly your tenant base, I want you to start preparing for them to lose their job and what you're going to do. You're not going to be able to kick them out. COVID proved that the government will work with the tenants to stay in place and not pay you rent, but you will have to pay mortgage. So my direction, if people talking about real estate, 4 units and greater, with people in who jobs are state, city, federal, or government. Those are going to be more expensive properties to buy, but you will be covered better. Stop buying low value property. Stop buying these C class, these bad areas, these properties that, no roof, no basement, tax liens, like, and think you found gold. One thing I like to tell people is, you found the property, you didn't strike gold. You just got in this game. Don't you think other investors saw it and said, it's not worth my money? You found it because somebody offered it to you, but there's the lack of education you have on the future of what that property can do. You see right now. And the biggest problem we do is put a lot of faith in people to get the contractor together, to do the foundation, do the roof. Then they want to rent it. Then they hear about, I'm only paying 10,000. ARV is 180,000. It's going to cost me 100,000 to fix. But you're trusting a contractor. You're trusting the math. You're trusting that it's going to be done on time. And more importantly, you're trusting that the market is going to be there for you to sell this thing in this area where those people with those jobs cannot afford to buy. Most likely they will be renters. And now you're trapped with this person as a renter with a job that's in jeopardy. So I would tell people, 4 units, apartment buildings, 8 unit, 11 unit, 12 units, like, go in that direction. And if you don't want to go in that direction with real estate, I recommend everybody within the sound of my voice learn how to trade. Please. The value of learning how to trade will change your life. Jobs. I don't care how many people they force back to work. Commercial real estate is dying. The commercial, like, office buildings, those people who rent these offices, they don't need them. They get more productivity from people who are home, because those who are working from home will get up earlier because they got to get the kids ready. They got to feed them. They got to get them out to school. So now they're getting up earlier to do the work, get the kids out. Now they're working on your hours. Now when the kids come home, they put the kids to bed. Now they're going to do some extra work for free overtime because they know tomorrow the kids are going to get up again. Doesn't make sense. So look into that field of learning how to trade and make money from home, and also look into international. I've been buying real estate in different countries. I just had my property finished in Thailand. I'm looking in the coast of Africa. I'm also in Bali getting ready to have a property done. Dominican Republic. You have to understand, there's a total of 5 million people who live outside the United States. I need you people to like look at how many absentee ballots come in from the Department of, I think it's the State Department, and understand that these absentee ballots are not just military. These are people who live abroad and not coming back. These are millions of votes, which are millions of people. They're leaving. Retirees, the people who are the baby boomers, they can't live off of their salaries here. Costa Rica just had the largest influx of retirees just moved there. Their property values through the roof. Dominican Republic, same. Thailand, the same. Just do a little research. You're going to find people are leaving at the alarming rate, but the United States did a great job with marketing advertisement by telling you there's no better place to be. Everything is here. you can afford it all, you can have it all, and actually is a myth. They're
Hmm.
going to keep you on a program for the rest of your life, rent, feed you, clothe you, and lock you in. So I
Yeah.
hope I answered that question, though.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, wow. I love financial literacy and everything that has to do with that, and everything that you just hit on is better explained than I've heard most talk about. And I'm honestly just floored right now. So first and foremost, thank you for putting in the work to learn these things and to be able to communicate this, and again for your time for being here.
Yeah.
Um, One of the things that I got a finance degree when I was in college, and one of the things that I wrote a paper on that I'll never forget, and it really it really got me thinking about the future of our country and everything. It was the topic of hyperinflation, right? And
Mm,
so it's like it's more than just regular inflation. It's like when it hits that curve where all of a sudden it's exponential, right? And based on everything you're talking about there, I think we're right at the bottom of that upturn, right? Like, and that's exactly what's going to happen, especially when we look at how much money was just printed during like COVID and everything else. And then with the introduction of AI and how the cost of living is already so high, one of the dynamics that my girlfriend and I talk about a lot right now is how the relationship between men and women has changed as a result of inflation because of the fact that we can no longer afford a house just from one household income. We now have to have two. And that is now affecting things in a significant way. But it's getting worse than that because even two household incomes are now becoming challenged in that capacity. And now it's like people have to learn the online space and other things like trading, real estate investing, et cetera. But they have to have had, the savings to get into that. So yeah, there's a lot we could cover on this. So with that said, I'd love to hear
I
about
gotta.
how it is.
I
Yeah,
want to go into something before we get past it because I don't think people really understood the magnitude of what you said because you gave it so eloquently and you shot past it. The relationship dynamic is changing. People are forced to be in relationships longer and with people they don't want to just for housing, just to live under a roof with someone. Like people will be in misery with this person because they can't afford to go nowhere. You have to understand the dynamics of that. Understand the dynamics of a child who live with their parents. I was fortunate to be able to move out, get my own apartment, to experience what it's like to have my own apartment, to make the decision I don't want to rent anymore, to be able to get a mortgage and buy. This generation now, I feel sorry for this generation because they're going from their parents' house literally being kicked out because it's time for them to go, to move into a place with 5 and 6 roommates, never understanding what it's like to have your own. That is the mindset. And then they're getting in that relationship and going, I'm dating this girl. I met someone. I met this guy. You know what? We're going to get a place together. And they're doing this based on finances. Wow,
yeah.
man.
If you want to save time on watching all the episodes, but still get all the gold nuggets that we find from interviewing these 7, 8, and 9 figure entrepreneurs, then you can get all of that inside of the 2 Comma Club newsletter. Just go to 2ccnewsletter.com and subscribe.